Welcome to the vlog.
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 Welcome to the vlog. Season 6.
Welcome to the vlog.
The format of today's vlog might be a bit different because I suppose that everything this week is very different. At the risk of sounding cheesy, I am about to embark on my dream, something that I have been more or less preparing for years, and I'm almost there, but it still feels like there's a lot in the air and there's so much that I have to do before I get to travel to Ironman. My nerves are overwhelming and it feels surreal that after a year of focused training, I'm down to the last couple days before the race. The true hard work has been done and I just have to hope that all goes well on my transit and on race day. And even though it's race week, there's still a lot going on. I went up to pick up Turner's birthday present and then I went over to my parents for pizza and everything was yummy as usual. Unfortunately, we had to break down the bike. This is something that always scares me. I have gotten more used to it, but I don't think I could do it by myself without someone's help. Maybe that's a lot of self-doubt talking, but I'm just so grateful to have my dad there helping me. Like, I can't really take much credit for the bike being broken down. It is completely his doing. There have been so many lessons on this journey, both athletic and not. I have seen more personal growth in the last year of my life than ever before, and who I was a year ago feels very different than who I am now in many ways. I believe both versions of myself were always rooted in kindness, ambition, and empathy, but I feel that I am just so much more resilient now. I don't think that everything happens for a reason. Sometimes sad and horrible things happen and it's just senseless. I don't really believe in a greater power. Ultimately, I have what I would call an optimistic existentialist view on life. Everything is meaningless, but with that comes the freedom to draw conclusions and attribute our own meaning to our experiences. I note this because in the last couple years, I have been so lost and depressed and I have felt a lack of agency in my life and have been heartbroken about relationships and people in my life. I was a people pleaser and I felt the only way to have value in someone's life was to be needed and to acquiesce to their needs. When I started trying to break these patterns, I felt that I lost relationships and got negative feedback, and it was just very scary. I felt alone in many ways. And if you're asking yourself, how does this relate to Ironman training? Well, let me explain. Training for an Ironman, it was one of the most physically and mentally challenging things I've ever done. It really leaves no room for weak points in your life and habits. It will consume every moment of free time in your life, and if you have nothing left to give, it takes away from your sleep and from your mental health. And at the beginning of training, I was already experiencing some sort of burnout. I was pushing my limits and I still didn't feel like I could fully focus on myself. My recovery came last on the list of priorities. It felt like this ultimate recurring lesson where exercise was my relief and my way of processing negative emotions and a core part of my identity, but it was also hurting me because I could not commit to recovery. Of course, in this process, I've made incredible strides athletically. I think it's clear to see, and I'm very proud of myself, but the impact that Ironman training has had on me on an emotional level will change me for the rest of my life. When I reflect on any heartbreak and doors shut through the shedding of the identity of a perfectionist and a people pleaser, I realize that the pain in that moment has led to me being the happiest version of myself. And I'm not here to say that there was an inherent meaning behind any hardship or suffering. I don't like any of the negative emotions that I experienced, but I feel that I was able to grow from it. And in many ways, on a surface level, circumstances haven't changed. I'm still very busy with work, very involved with my family, and committed to heavy training. But in many ways, I have scaled back and my emotional health has flourished. I know that this all is very abstract, but just to give some examples, I feel that I can take rest days now and it doesn't jeopardize my fitness. I don't feel like I am bearing the brunt of my grandparents' well-being, and I feel that in the past couple months, I've been able to gain back a relationship with my grandparents that doesn't revolve of me feeling like I need to do everything for them, and more focused on just being there when I can and doing my best even though I can't do everything. When I also look at my friendships, my acceptance doesn't feel conditional anymore. I feel that I have value in people's lives inherently. When I look at the state of affairs, I realize that I have everything that I have ever wanted. And of course, I will always be a work in progress. I always want to get better, but I love the person that I am now and the life that I'm building. And of course, instead of exercise being a way to run away, it's simply a hobby that I adore, and it feels less like escapism and more like this mode of self-improvement, challenge, and fun. Like I mentioned earlier, the hard part is over. I trained as a triathlete for over a year and overcame every challenge that came my way, and I'm here on the other end stronger. I'm not sure what's in store for me on race day, but I know that I'm resilient and strong. I'm excited to see what happens. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that's supported me on this journey. I really could not have done it without the support of my family, my partner, my friends, and my coworkers. I am so grateful, and I know that I am a very, very lucky person. I am on the precipice of achieving my dream, one that I've had for a very long time, and I hope you'll wish me luck on the final step. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the other side.
పొలం గట్టు దుమ్ములోన పోట్ల గిత్త దూకినట్టు పొలేరమ్మ జాతరలో పోతరాజు ఊగినట్టు గిర్రు సెప్పులేసుకొని కర్ర సాము చేసినట్టు మర్రి సొట్టు నీడలోన కుర్ర గుంపు కూడినట్టు ఎర్ర జొన్న రొట్టెలోన మిరప దొక్కు కలిపినట్టు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నాటు 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 వీర నాటు 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 ఊర నాటు 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 పచ్చి మిరపలాగా పిచ్చ నాటు 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 పిచ్చు కత్తిలాగా వెర్రి నాటు కీసు పిట్ట కూసినట్టు చేలు సిటికెలేసేలా ఎవ్వారం సాగినట్టు కాలు సిండు తొక్కేలా దుమ్మారం రేగినట్టు ఒళ్ళు చెమట పట్టేలా వీరంగం చేసినట్టు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నాటు 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 వీర నాటు 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 ఊర నాటు 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 కట్ట పారలాగా చెట్ట నాటు 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 కపోతలాగా తిక్క నాటు భూమి దత్తరిల్లేలా ఒట్టిలో నిరగతమంత రక్కలేసి ఎగిరేలా ఎసే రోయకాయకి నాటు 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 దుమ్ము దులిపేలా లోపలున్న పానమంతా టుముకులాడేలా దూకేనో సరాసరి నాటు నాటు నాటు